This right here is my good old rear wheel drive swap R32, you know what I'm saying? Good little GTS-T. I've always wanted a GTS-T, bro. It is a drift build. Woo! And so the thing is with this drift build that I didn't do with my 180 and my JZX 100 is I didn't buy any dampers or anything. And I'm gonna show y'all in just a moment here, but I just wanna give y'all a little look at this joint, you know what I'm saying? I kept the tail lights black. We threw a nice orange on here. Real solid, real clean, just real, you know what I'm saying, smooth. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know the type of builds that I make. We got all racing parts for the engine right here. All racing parts. And then if we go to the transmission, we got all ultimate parts, ultimate clutch, ultimate diff. You know that diff is locked up, ultimate gearbox, and I did rear wheel drive swap this R32 here, like I said, to make it a little GTS-T. For the body, we haven't done anything here. I'm looking now and I might do a little weight reduction, get a little bit of weight off of here, you know what I'm saying? Might as well. I did add some weight with these performance parts and everything. So that's gonna push me into class 5 with this car, which is decent, not bad, 395 horsepower, so 1 HP above my JZX 100, and we chilling like that. So for the suspension, I got front suspension arms, no stabilizers, no brakes, rear suspension arms, front springs and rear springs, no dampers or anything like that. And we're gonna come back to the suspension tuning in a second. For the wheels, I believe I threw some 19s on here. Oh no, 18. So 235, 35 18s in the front, and then 255, 35 18s in the rear. You know what I'm saying? We got ultimate spacers on just so we can get that fitment as good as possible, you know, and we looking pretty solid back here. You know, not too bad. I got stretch tires +5 on the front and the rear. So that's how we rocking, you know what I'm saying? And then if I jump into the tuning, you know what I'm saying, I lowered the tire pressure in the front, increased the tire pressure in the rear. We want a little bit more wheel spin back here. We want a little bit more grip up front. And then I just adjusted my spacers based on how the fitment was for the car. Now for suspension tuning, lowered my spring length in the front and the rear as about as much as I could without no clipping and without it being too low. Cause this car, you can slam this R32, I ain't gonna lie. You can really slam this car, but then the bumpers are gonna be going through the floor and you don't want that, right? I haven't touched my spring stiffness for the front or the rear. Little bit, like 0.5 negative camber in the rear. I tried to get to 0, couldn't really get there, but yeah, so that's what that is for now. We got a very slight amount of negative camber in the rear, but not enough to make a difference on how the car feels. My caster is at 9.8, max Ackerman, max steering angle, max toe out in the front. I haven't tuned any slow bump, fast bump, rebound, fast rebound, no brake tuning or anything like that in the rear either. No toe in or out in the rear. And this is how we looking on our suspension tuning. So I went a little bit less around this time around. I didn't do a whole lot. Now, I haven't adjusted this weight distribution or anything like that. I might deep dive into that a little bit more, but I'm just not sure at the moment. I did do some gear tuning here. Made first gear a little bit longer, shortened second, third, and fourth, just so I can keep them RPMs up, you know what I'm saying? But we locked the diff and everything, so we're good there, no preload, all right? Engine tuning, I did max out the rev limiter, turbine pressure, peak RPMs, and my torque at high. So bam, that's pretty much the build. I did not do no swaps. I would like to see swaps cost money rather than street coin. I mean, I have all the engines unlocked. I wouldn't know what to swap in here other than a RB26, but we're gonna keep the, you know what I'm saying, the factory joint in here. Doing more and more exploring, you find more and more places, bro, and it's just way too much fun. For real, for real. Ooh. Also, street tires are very important when you're going with a drift car. You don't want race tires. You don't want sport tires. You don't want none of that. You're gonna want street tires. Ugh. Oh, I'm in the dirt. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh. Woo. This thing pushes a little bit too. Ooh. Ah. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Woo! Oh. I could probably make second gear a little bit longer again, but that's why we hit the mountain, you know what I'm saying? So we could dial in for real, for real. Oh, I threw that shit hard, kind of. Still some super dialing to kind of perfect it a little bit, you know? And it's gonna be different for everybody, right? It's gonna be different for everybody. Even if you were to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, copy this tune or this build, how I have it, you're still gonna have to make some adjustments based on how you want it to feel for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're on controller or you're having different wheel or your wheel settings are different, things are gonna feel different. So I would say use this as a blueprint. I always say that for my builds and all that stuff. Use it as a blueprint to move towards more comfortability for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because when you just, you know what I'm saying, copy pasta and hop out on the road, it may not feel good for you. And sometimes some people will do that and they'll be like, oh, this tune is trash, bro. This shit, you gotta adjust based on your circumstances. You know what I mean? And that is the R32 for y'all.